This Icon podcast is hosted and sponsored by Sphere Rocket Virtual Assistants, a leading provider for your virtual assistants and outsourcing needs. Owned by one of the top-ranking EXP agents, Justin Nelson. Sphere Rocket VA provides a one-stop virtual staffing solution for business owners, and we specialize in helping business owners grow their business by leveraging through virtual assistants. Trusted by the top names in the real estate industry like Kyle Whistle, Andrew Franklin, John Kitchens, and many more. Get ready to up your success and we'll help you achieve your business goals. Book your free consultation at sphererocketva.com and find out how we can make your life easier.
Hello, welcome back to another episode of the Icon Podcast. I am your host, as always, Gianna, and today we are talking to Ellen O'Neill. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. So let's talk about you, Ellen. Where are you from? How did you find yourself in real estate? What's your story?
So I currently live in Charleston, South Carolina, and I am a native of Connecticut. And I moved to Charleston in 2009 with my husband and, at the time, twin daughters that were 11.
Oh, wow.
They're now 24 years old, so we've been here a good while and love it. My background is in education, though. I was a classroom teacher with a special ed degree, like a master's degree in special education, and I taught for 21 years. My last 4 years of teaching, I doubled up with real estate and launched my real estate business, and then I left the classroom in the spring of 2014 to pursue real estate full-time at that point.
Yeah.
And it's my passion ever since.
Awesome. And that being said, was EXP your first brokerage? How were you introduced to it? With a different brokerage? How'd that transition go?
Interesting. EXP was not my first brokerage. I wish it was. Mm-hmm. I'm sure, like a lot of agents with EXP now, many of us say, oh, I wish I had found EXP sooner.
Or I wish I would have done it sooner. Yep. Pretty much every episode.
Yeah. I jumped on board immediately once I found it. So I didn't take long to see the value of what this company offered for a platform. It was very apparent to me upon initial presentation. So I actually had worked for some, bigger companies, and then I opened my own small brokerage. I got my broker's license, and I opened my own small brokerage just to have the, ability to kind of do things my own way. And when I saw the EXP opportunity, it was shared with me from a colleague that we had just done a transaction together. And like I said, it immediately rang true to me that there's no better model out there. And so I jumped on board literally the following month. And had I been introduced to it sooner, I would have gone sooner.
Awesome. So you had that introduction. A lot of people, mull it over for years, and you were like, you know what, this makes sense for me. I'm coming aboard, which is a lot, faster, like I just said. And Ellen, now that you're over at EXP, what is something you've discovered about it that maybe you didn't expect at first, or something that you really enjoy now about EXP?
Okay, so from a day-to-day perspective, I would say a surprise to me is how frequently I'm working together and collaborating with other EXP agents. I think I was always in a routine of working remotely, and I feel like I have more access to agents now than with any other brokerage that I worked for. So that was kind of a surprising thing. I think I felt like everybody would be kind of like their islands in their own sea. And that's not true. We get together all the time. We actually run monthly networking events with other agents. We call it a Realtor Power Panel. And we get together with agents from all different companies throughout the Charleston area. And we have a mastermind topic. And it's awesome. And we end with happy hour. It's just been wonderful. So lots of great connections have been made with other agents through EXP. And then on the financial side of things, I do have one very happy surprise, and it has to do with the Icon Award. It never occurred. So some people had said to me in the beginning, why would you leave your own brokerage where you make 100% on every deal all the time? You don't ever split.
Mhm.
And I was like, well, it's not about that. There's so much opportunity with this company, so many great tools. So I said to myself, if I could make that icon award, if my production would warrant that, I can quote work for free that year because I'll get my split back, right? In companies.
Yeah.
So I had it in my head, it would be like working for free. Well, my first icon award, I'll never forget. I earned 1,500 shares of stock.
Mhm.
That's what it was based on what it was trading for. And a year and a half ago, my husband and I, we were looking at buying a vacation rental property in the mountains,
Mhm.
kind of like a personal use and money making venture, like an investment. And I said to him, I'm like, you know what? If I was to sell just that one EXP award I got, that first icon award, we had over $100,000.
Incredible.
So that concept of, hey, I can earn it back and like cancel out or work for free that year was so short-sighted. It's so much more than that. So it just really motivates me to work really hard and try to achieve it every year.
Absolutely. I love that. And we're going to dive into more detail about the Icon Award because, for high producers, obviously it's a great advantage of coming over to EXP to continue that and be rewarded for it. But
Yep.
before we dive into that, Ellen, how do you take care of yourself? You're a high producer, you're a mom, you're a business entrepreneur. So how do you recharge? How do you step back and make sure that, you're taking care of yourself and avoiding burnout?
Well, it's something you have to really think about a lot. So I do like to work out. I will be very honest. I have found a morning workout most days of the week does my brain every bit as much good as my body. There's science behind all the release of the endorphins. For me, it rings true. So just getting some exercise on a regular basis makes all the difference.
Yes,
And,
absolutely.
you know, family is so important. I would say my husband and I are very deliberate in trying to keep time like most evenings and on the weekends and carve it out for access to family. We have two daughters. They got married. I'm going to be a grandma next month. And
Awesome. Congratulations.
yeah. So, we try to do Sunday dinners maybe 3 times a
Mhm.
month at our house.
Oh, I
So,
love that.
yeah. So, I mean, those are just some of the things that I think help me get recharged and kind of remember why I do what I do. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, it's all about family.
Yeah, you've gotta know your why. That makes it all important. And Ellen, let's dive into the Icon Award now, right? So
Sure.
in your market, about how many homes do you have to sell to cap? So it's a $16,000 cap and then
Mhm.
20 transactions after. So what's the average home price look for you? How many do you have to do to hit that 16,000?
Yeah. So typically you cap at somewhere around 2.5, 2.75 million in sales
Mhm.
volume. So, I mean, I sell to first time home buyers and luxury and everybody in between. So let's say 700 is a average price. So for maybe 4 to 6 deals typically to
Uh-huh.
cap, unless, I have a bunch of small ones that come in. So it can vary, but it's usually a couple months and then you cap.
Okay. Sure.
And then, once you cap, it's, you can say it's 20 additional transactions before your anniversary rolls around, but it's not always 20. Because what they do is how they base it on the fees that you pay into the company. There's a
Mhm.
transaction fee.
Yeah.
When that hits 5,000 and it's 250 per transaction, which is why so many people say, oh, it's about 20 transactions later. But if you have referrals going out and those get processed, that transaction fee can accumulate in other ways above and beyond your personal sales. So
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. And so
Yes.
we talk production now, which is only a portion of the Icon Award, right? You still have that cultural commitment so
Correct.
that you are, not only a high producer, but making sure that you contribute to the morale and culture at EXP, which is such a huge, asset for the company. So you can be a mentor, you can be a coach, teach an EXP world, vet other icons. So Ellen, what path do you take for your cultural commitment?
So I have always mentored. I love pouring into new agents. I think it's so important that new agents have a go-to person and a
Mhm.
mentor, and I don't think that is common in all um, different brokerages. So I see the value in that, and I love it.
Mhm.
Although this year I did deviate, and I did one of the iConversations interviews, and that was
Mhm.
really fun. But I've told EXP I'll continue mentoring, so I'm kind of dabbling with two different contributions
Mhm.
at a more local level, and this is outside of the icon. We really are pouring into other EXP agents because we're holding classes every month for agents in the area that want to get together for in-person learning.
Mhm.
And we're doing our monthly meetings that's, for EXP and agents from other brokerages. So that in and of itself, I think is putting our firm on a pedestal in front of
Yes.
everybody in our marketplace. But it's also a way to pour into our agents because we're getting the perspective of panelists that are not just from our company. So
Right.
it serves the purposes.
Absolutely, Ellen. And the Icon Award comes with so many benefits. You get that cap back in stock, the opportunity to go to EXPCon and shareholders to earn more of that cap back. You get an awesome reputation, easy to catch referrals with it, great connections, reputability within EXP. So, what is your favorite part of the Icon Award? What makes you want to set your sight on that goal every single year?
So you're right. There's a lot of nice perks that come with it. The networking that we do at our events is fantastic, and I love that. Financially, though, I'll be honest with you, like that benefit is massive. It was
Mhm.
so smartly thought out and it's sustainable. I mean, it to me, that's just a huge motivator. And it's not because money is everything to me, but it's just a massive opportunity that you don't see out there anywhere else. And so once you get it, you want to keep getting it, right? Like I like to compete with myself.
Yes.
So when I earn something, I want to do better the next year, and I want to do a little better the next year.
Mhm.
So that's my motivator right there is to get the icon year after year. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah, so I think that's the benefit that is really the carrot being dangled in front of me. But
Yeah.
yes, I have had some referrals come through from other icon agents. They're like, "Oh, I happen to notice that you're in the Charleston area. Our neighbors are moving. Can you take care of them?" Blah blah blah. And that really is an honor.
Absolutely. And, moving past this Icon Award, let's talk about others setting their sights on the Icon Award. So, whether they are an agent in the market or they're a rookie looking to come over to EXP, is it possible for them to Icon in their first year? What's some advice you have there? You don't have to answer all of these, but to kind of spark inspiration for you, what's some mistakes to avoid? What kind of conversations should they be having every day? Do they need to be setting monthly/daily goals? How do they achieve such a big accomplishment if it's possible?
Yeah, so I think it absolutely is possible for a new agent, a rookie, to come in and icon. First and foremost, if you have some high sales, you could cap early.
Mhm.
And then it's about frequency, right? You want to have a high volume and a high number of sales. So it all boils down to daily habits and having solid foundations. So
Mhm.
when you get your systems in place and you make a duplicatable routine, and you can be smart about your time and always be prospecting and filling your pipeline. I think the thing to avoid is, and we all do this, when you get busy with transactions and you let up on the prospecting, then you have that roller coaster. And it can take a long time to break that cycle and get more regulated where you have, similar activity on a month-to-month basis. You know, I would say it's all about your daily routines and having a schedule and doing the money-making activities as religiously as possible.
Okay, I love that. That's good advice for both newbies and, maybe some experienced people that are just coming over to EXP to be able to hit those goals. And Ellen, I know you said it took you about a month to make that transition to EXP, but were you ever skeptical of it when it was introduced to you?
No, as a matter of fact, it was a very funny timing because prior to learning about EXP, there were a few local brokerages who were reaching out to me to see if I might want to come over.
Okay.
And I'm always really curious, like, what are these other brokerages offering, right? Because I'm very small. I literally had like 5 agents working with me, and I was never intending to grow a big firm or anything like that. But I always was like, well, what do other agencies offer people, and what's the diversity of different programs out there? And nobody offered anything compelling. Like, I was like, no, I would have no motivation. There's nothing that appeals to me about what you are putting out there.
Yeah.
And my husband was like, why would you even consider making a move? You're doing well and you've got your branding and all that. Well, then EXP came along, and I listened to Brent Gove's The Model Explained. And I listened in my car one afternoon because I was like stuck in traffic. And when I got home, I said to my husband, I need you to sit down. And I put it on the computer and listened, watched it with him. And my husband, who's the big skeptic, not a big skeptic by nature, but the guy who was always saying, like, why do you even go meet with these other brokers? Like, you'd be crazy to make a change. Why would you even consider it?
Got to see what's out there.
So my husband looked at me at the end and he's like, Ellen, I think it would actually be financially irresponsible not to transition over to this. I mean, look at the opportunity. I said, I know. It rang through loud and clear to me. And I thought you might, catch something that I missed. I mean, I was a little bit distracted because I was driving.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the fact that he even said it, I'm like, okay. And I never questioned it. But in the back of my mind, I did say the worst thing that could happen is like the grass is greener syndrome. And a year from now, I might say, gee, I was kind of expecting this, but got that. And I could always go back to doing my own thing if I want to.
Of course, easily.
It's not like I had storefront and I sold a building and now I'd have to go, you know what I mean? None of that. I'm like, nothing has to be permanent.
Agreed.
I've never once thought about going out on my own and having all that liability and business licenses and E&O insurance. Like, I was glad to offload that and not have to be distracted,
Yes, 100%. I totally get that. And Ellen, for somebody that's out there and maybe they already took a meeting with EXP, maybe they see the greener grass excuse me, I've got the hiccups. They see the greener grass at EXP. And maybe they've had a meeting or are looking to have a meeting, but they hear all the things out in the industry like, oh, don't go to EXP. It's a cult. It's a pyramid scheme. Don't drink the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
What would you have to say to somebody watching to kind of kick them in the butt to get over here and to cut that cord and to make the jump?
Well, I will just say this. I'm a solo agent. I am your average Joe, okay? I am not blessed with some unusual skill or some unusual character trait that differentiates me from other agents out there, okay?
Yeah.
For me to be in this company and having these blessings happen, it's so legit. Like, there's no reason to buy into the hype when people are trying to put down EXP. It's just either fear of the unknown that people have, or people listening to hearsay and really not taking the time to educate themselves as to what our company really is all about.
Right.
So what I'm saying is, if I, as a solo agent, that's like an average Joe, can reap the benefits of this amazing platform that Glenn Sandberg crafted, anybody can do it.
Right.
I don't have anything special or magical or a trick up my sleeve that other agents don't have. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So it is a great vehicle for everybody. I'm just convinced of that.
I agree. And I like your quote earlier, it would be financially irresponsible not to make this move. There's an
Yes.
opportunity to have three different streams of income with EXP. And, your resources are truly limitless here. And Ellen, that was my last question. We're over 20 minutes here. I think it's been an awesome episode. Are you going to be at EXPCon?
I am hoping to. My niece is getting married that Saturday following it. So I'm trying to figure out flight wise how I can.
How that's going to work.
I'm
totally
hoping to go and maybe just leave on Thursday.
Mhm.
So we'll see. But I have gone to every event since joining EXP. And I'm going to tell you something. The shareholders that we just had took the cake, in my opinion. That
Mhm.
was the best education, the best networking. The programming was fantastic. And I left there saying, like, oh my gosh, every time I come to these events, it gets better and better. So EXP, it's where it's at. And, I'm not one that's out like really working the agent attraction as heavily as I probably should. I believe like when people inquire, I love to talk about it and share with them my experience and what benefits they might find. And it's a very organic growth for me.
Yeah.
But I'm very passionate about it. So anybody that ever is curious, I mean, I wear my heart on a sleeve. I talk numbers. I talk personal stories with people. I'm like, this is an example. Okay. This is how it translates. So how would that look for you?
Right. And if you guys have questions, do your due diligence, ask all the questions, reach out to Ellen if you feel like that's somebody that you want to connect with. And that's the magic of EXP.
Yeah. It's not just for big teams. It's for everybody.
Right.
Big teams, small teams, solo agents. Everybody can win in this company, and everybody is winning.
Absolutely. Ellen, thank you so much for your time today. I hope to get to see you at EXPCon, but if not, you've got a pretty good excuse, once in a lifetime event there. And I just hope to catch up with you soon. Don't be a stranger.
What a privilege to be on your podcast. Thank you for having me.
Thanks, Ellen. We'll talk to you soon. Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
This Icon podcast is hosted and sponsored by Sphere Rocket Virtual Assistants, a leading provider for your virtual assistants and outsourcing needs. Owned by one of the top-ranking EXP agents, Justin Nelson. Sphere Rocket VA provides a one-stop virtual staffing solution for business owners, and we specialize in helping business owners grow their business by leveraging through virtual assistants. Trusted by the top names in the real estate industry like Kyle Whistle, Andrew Franklin, John Kitchens, and many more. Get ready to up your success and we'll help you achieve your business goals. Book your free consultation at sphererocketva.com and find out how we can make your life easier.